And we are live. It is 7/7, the 7th of July, 2020. We're back in Lovecraft country. Overcast, dark, foreboding, ominous shadows hang over the city of Beijing, China this morning. Clear signs of the industrialization of the surrounding countryside. What eldritch horrors dwell within the confines of hollow, spacious caverns within the earth in this section of the vast plain? Greetings and salutations, witches and warlocks, wizards and sorcerers, supplicants and mendicants alike. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. My hopes are that you're doing well out in Happy Land. Let's see if this guy's gonna stay where he's at for a second so I can jam on by. Yeah, good man. Keep it over there. 2021. All right, we have got 6:22 a.m. on the digital clock. As we progress along the highway, we're headed north on the 3rd Ring Road. I am exiting the third Ring Road as it turns west because I am headed north. What's this guy doing? Come on, man. Seriously, bro? You can't just choose one lane as you enter the superhighway. You got to choose the middle lane, the middle of 2 lanes. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I started the video a little late for the morning grind. Still kicking good. I am glad you're doing well. So I got out of the house early, but I started the video a little late. I was battling through the assholes and idiots in order to try to get a little ahead of the crowd. Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching writes that you should try to balance things as much as possible. He says that pushing ahead or lagging behind are both the same in being one-sided. So you should strive for the middle path. He gives a lot of advice in the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is a well-loved book globally, I believe now, but it's of Chinese origin, so they claim, dating back to the Shangxia Yuan, I think the Yuan dynasty. I have to check to make sure, but if memory serves correctly. So that's around 500 BC. So, give or take a couple of days. He was a contemporary he was an elder of Confucius, but it seems that he would be a contemporary of Socrates. So it went Socrates, Plato, Aristotle was the transmission in the West. And here in the East, as far as the Tao Te Ching goes, there's only the mention of him, which many scholars argue that those could have been collections of people back then that there may not have been any single individual named Lao Tzu, but I don't necessarily see that as true, because the flavor of the text is of a single purpose, and it's not that long. It's 81 short chapters of philosophical inquiries into the nature of reality and man's place between heaven and earth. Generalized principles that were probably pretty well known back then. So we've, in the magic videos, we've been talking about cultivating the magic mind, cultivation of the magic mind. And principle 1 in the Kabbalion is mentalism, the mind, the all mind. So, regulating the mind, the first step in the new philosophy of Occidental and Oriental synth mysticism is step 1, eliminating negative self-talk. So that's the nagging, niggardly little voice that doubts you and doubts your positive progress and attempts to postulate the pessimistic hypothetical scenarios. The old, what if, but what if, but what about? So fear is the mind killer. Let it pass through me. So there is a tendency of the mind, more apparent in some folks than others, to be in fear of living. And you may even baffle at the idea that they can even leave the house in the morning because of the dreaded what ifs. So as we descend down the tree of life, we pick up along the way, starting from the point of awareness and developing attention, memory, logic and reason, intuition, discrimination, and coming further down the tree, we're imbued by Gebura with courage and self-confidence. How do you put yourself before the public eye and work to make a living unless you have a sense of rightness and justice? Lao Tzu said that each of us has just as much right in the cosmos and on the vast material plane, just as much right to be here as any tree or star or mountain, and that a human individual should follow the path of right, that which they know is their virtue, and be empowered by that rightness, not by a doctrine or a policy, but by the very cosmos itself. And that's the key to virtue, is to do thy will. Yeah. So that's a good start. for today's part 1 on the morning grind. Do thy will. And people overthink do thy will sometimes. It can be quite simply like, okay, we had a good dinner or whatever last night. Maybe I failed to do the dishes, though I knocked off the excess food and sat them in the sink. So I wake up first thing in the morning and I think, I need to knock those dishes out, right? That's your will. And then you just go ahead and do it. That's starting the day right. That's doing thy will upon waking. And one way to get in contact and to correlate the conscious and subconscious mind is by setting the mental alarm clock when you go to sleep at night. Exhaust yourself throughout the day enough that when you lay down at night, don't drink any stimulants after 5 p.m. Don't take any stimulants, coffee or tea or anything after 5 or so p.m. And then lay down and get to bed early enough. You know, that's a part of the will. And then set the mental clock as you lie down. Tonight I will dream about, or I will enter the astral gate and any particular sphere work you might want to do. And then say, and then I will wake at such and such hour, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever you like, whatever you usually sleep till. And then do it. Your subconscious mind will count and monitor every single second of the night without your conscious attention, so that you'll wake without an alarm clock at the exact hour or minute, down to minute and second that you told yourself to. That's the power of the mind. And utilization of that subconscious mental power is a part of the great work. We ran a little long on this one, makes it hard to upload, but there you have it. As above, so below. Y'all good looking, sexy people, stay well out in Happy Land. I'll see you back in a moment for part 2. 再见 for now.